been seeing this guy everywhere, and I've heard his story, bro. The brutal humiliation of a mid-tier comedian. Let's get into this, bro. Apparently, this guy is worse than Will Smith, bro.
Stand-up comedian is being humiliated in front of the entire world and does not know how to make it stop. Akash Singh is mostly known as being the sidekick to Andrew Schultz on the Flagrant podcast. His wife Jasleen recently started...
Yo, those are some mean high waters he got on. Holy moly. Why is his high water so high like that? God damn, is he wearing tights?
As being the sidekick to Andrew Schultz on the Flagrant podcast. His wife Jasleen recently started creating content that many feel is shocking or distasteful coming from a married woman.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
This is not...
What in the world is going on here? What did she just say?
So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I...
Oh, nah. Nah, gang. Nah, gang. This is crazy work. Crazy work, bro.
had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
What you... Bro, we are 37 seconds into the video, bro. What's going on?
And if you think those clips are bad, trust me, it gets so much worse. Like when she expressed how badly she wanted to sleep with her co-host's husband.
Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husband? Priya, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is good looking and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. Maybe. I just know that Nav's is like at least 10 inches.
I have no words, bro.
You would only be down for an orgy or it's thick. It's thick.
Jasleen regularly romanticized.
Bro, how do you say that about your friend's man like that right in front of her? Like no care in the world, and they both just laughing at it. She dead serious. Look at she's dead serious.
I just know that Nav's is like at least 10 inches. You would only be down for an orgy or it's thick. It's thick.
Jasleen regularly romanticizes sleeping with other men, films her arguments with Akash to post on TikTok, brags about being a gold digger, and actively refuses to kiss her husband in public.
Oh my God. Yo, the curve of doom. Nah, gang.
Not even during his proposal. This is the type of relationship that 99% of you watching pray you will never find yourself in. But anyone who criticizes Jasleen and the potential harmful influence she may have on couples, she calls them incel red pillars. Then again, it's somewhat understandable considering sometimes the right message can come from the wrong messenger. Because Akash was actually warned by the Fresh and Fit podcast that he was going to find himself in this exact type of situation. In the early 2020s, there was a digital uprising of self-proclaimed alpha males who claimed their traditional views of masculinity were directly conflicting with mainstream liberal ideologies. Guys like Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks of the Fresh and Fit podcast got viral attention talking about traditional gender roles, relationship dynamics, and what being a real man is. And even though Akash and Andrew host a comedy podcast, they often dabble in more serious, broader social commentary, which...
I'm not gonna lie, some of the things Fresh and Fit be saying, they be cooking sometimes. But I'm not gonna lie, other times they be talking pure nonsense. Like, I don't know. Some of the things they say, they be right in some cases, and in some other cases, I don't know what they talking about.
Led to them inviting on the Fresh and Fit guys to discuss some of their views on masculinity and relationships, many of which Akash disagreed with. He was particularly bothered by this phrase or relationship philosophy that Fresh and Fit used that said, pimp or be pimped.
One person in the relationship whoever cares less has the leverage, and we want the guy to always care less.
We
want the man to always have the leverage.
Childish as
and you guys might not like hearing that.
Childish.
But we truly feel.
I'm not. These aren't new beliefs, bro. You're not telling me some none of us have ever heard. We all heard this from fraternity guys in college. I'm saying there's room in and I don't have a problem with a lot of the stuff you say. I just think there is room for growth, and you guys' refusal to acknowledge it almost kind of proves it to me, confirms it to me that you guys are not willing to grow right now, and that's fine. That's some ego.
Throughout the pod, Andrew seemed to have no problem having a serious, calm conversation about...
This guy just loves wearing these high waters, huh? You know, because they not even touching his, like, the end of his... The end of his knee. This shit is like all the way up here.
Someone else's worldview despite not fully agreeing with it. But Akash was clearly much more upset with what they were saying. Most of the podcast, it didn't feel like he was listening, but rather just waiting for his turn to speak and assert his own personal philosophy on dating. However, Fresh and Fit were mostly known to say outlandish and straight up disrespectful things about women on a regular basis. So most people naturally sided with Akash's view of equity and equality in relationships, as well as understood his general frustration towards these guys. What we would later discover is that the reality of Akash's own personal relationship reflected the exact situation that Fresh and Fit were trying to warn him about. But before we dive deeper, I want to talk about one of the most disturbing industries in America, data broker. I have constantly free filling point when Myron of the Fresh and Fit podcast called out Akash and his wife Jasleen. He tweeted, "Akash Singh tried to lecture me about women years ago. Here's his..."
I never wrong about these women. Akash tried to lecture me about women years ago with his equality co-host Andrew, aka hear this. Damn, he talking crazy. This guy. Hear this wife making mockery of him or herself to his podcast. I'm about to cook him and her like curry when I get back into Miami.
His wife making a mockery of him and herself on a podcast. And linked below was a full episode of the Main Character podcast hosted by Jasleen Singh and her friend Nahal Mawani. The women described their podcast as unfiltered girl talk and sells itself as being for the ones who live life like the plot revolves around them, because it does. This description on the surface is relatively harmless, but once you take a closer look at the podcast itself, you see that this description is extremely accurate. Two women who think they're the main characters of the world talking about themselves with absolutely no filter. One comment that stood out in this episode was where Jasleen discusses her and her husband's finances.
Man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll mother. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
If you don't get your... What in the world is she talking about?
Way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money. And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, I went up
Sure.
$100 from last week.
But that's my money, okay? So just so we're clear, no, that's actually a red flag, because I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys that weren't transparent about money.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, she might be on the slow side. No cap. Hold on, no cap, bro. Cause if you actually like have a brain and you think like that in this life, you might actually be special, bro. Like, there's no way you can say some stuff like this out your mouth, bro. No way. No way at all. No way at all you should say some shit out like this out your mouth.
And they ended up being terrible in other aspects, and like people ended up breaking up in divorces, etc., etc. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one.
For context, Jasleen is not a celebrity by any means. She does not have a job of her own and has only been able to build her internet following thanks to her husband.
Wait, so you're broke talking like this? What in the world is this? You're basically a bum. So you telling me she talking this crazy and she's a bum? bro, you wouldn't be anything without this guy.
Supplementing her lifestyle. And this is not a dig at her at all. She talks about this a lot in her content, and some even think she brags about it.
Okay, hi, my name is Jasleen, and these are things that I do as a stay-at-home wife. Or sorry, I don't do. I don't cook, I don't clean, and I don't do my husband's laundry. I feel that I don't have to do things to justify or prove my worth that I'm allowed to do this.
Now, some may interpret this as just jokes, but she also frequently posts day in my life videos where she romanticizes her routine of doing essentially nothing all day long.
I actually do this. I just do this. Like, I sit here. This.
Now, if this is the agreement this couple has in their relationship, then that's fine. It is what it is. Being a stay-at-home wife or mother is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, but it's the aggressive tone and entitlement she gives off that has earned her the label of a gold digger, something that she subtly implies to be.
Now, like, people are like, oh, that's gold digging, or that's something. No, it's not.
Okay, then I'm digging.
Yeah.
If that wasn't bad enough, Jasleen frequently discusses other men that she
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not saying anything because I genuinely think she's trolling, bro. She cannot be like the stuff coming out her mouth cannot be real. Like, I think she's trolling because there's no way that she actually believes this in her head, bro.
would like to cheat on her husband with.
I never
has
watched
to
that
be
show,
trolling.
but like,
Has to be
he's
trolling.
on my hall pass list.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler.
Now, some people see the whole celebrity crush thing as unserious because the
Nah, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. If you my shorty, you're not having no celebrity crush, bro. On God, bro. That's my pet peeve, bro. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. You talking about a celebrity crush, bro. And then y'all get mad when I get mad for y'all having a celebrity crush. Bro, no. You cannot have no celebrity crush. Because if there was a chance that you could be in the same room with that celebrity crush, you telling me that you gonna let him crack? Hell no.
celebrity feels so distant, so unreachable, that it's basically the same thing as fantasizing about a fictional
Exactly,
character.
bro. You basically putting them on a pedestal and fantasizing about them. Like, come on now.
Like, it's not really cheating because in their minds the situation is so unrealistic that it becomes harmless. Others see this as
so
straight
it is
up openly
realistic.
admitting they'd hook up with someone else that wasn't their husband because celebrities are just people too, after all.
That him in that movie like did kind of like rewire my sexual.
But is that your type, Ranbir Kapoor?
Not anymore, but like he was so hot and
Yeah.
tall, and he's like Mera Naam Bunny, like Bugs Bunny, and I was like, okay.
Yo, this is a married woman, by the way. She's a married woman with that. Yo, is that her wedding ring? A married woman to a successful comedian. Successful comedian, bro.
But Ghislaine didn't just openly fantasize about sleeping with other famous men. She quite literally admitted to wanting to sleep with her co-host husband, Nav.
Would y'all ever have an together with your husband?
Rhea,
She tried.
I'm actively trying to have an because this couple is so good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us for it? Okay, maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
What? Gang. She's talking to her about her husband, by the way. She's saying this to her face. Bro, you don't get more bold than this.
You would only be down for an orgy for
Or
it.
it's thick. It's thick.
The original question was a joke about all four of them sleeping together. However, Ghislaine only talks about Nav and never mentions her own husband, even excluding him from the hypothetical and talking about a three-person situation. Nahal clearly attempts to steer the conversation back to the dynamic being four people to
Whole horse. Facts, bro. Fuck. Like, bro.
respect Akash, while Jasleen continues to fantasize about Nav. Once again, you could argue that Jasleen is just joking. When you joke about...
And the thing is, bro, she's not even ugly at all. So you know she was getting tossed around in college, bro. You know her ass was getting tossed around like a damn basketball, bro. They was doing all types of crazy ass passes like Magic Johnson. They had Day Johnson inside her mouth.
Something over and over again, especially in a short period of time, you start to wonder if there's a little bit of truth to that. Even while talking about her husband in a positive light, Jasleen can't help but imply that Nav is a better husband than her own. To make matters worse, only minutes later in the podcast, they bring their husbands on, where Akash is forced to sit next to the man his wife was just fantasizing about having sex with. And she once again brings up having a threesome with Nahal and Nav, while Akash is sitting right there.
No way, brother.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who hustles.
I'm not gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
Even...
What?
At the end of the episode,
Nah, in front of your husband is insane. And he doesn't say anything?
Jasleen, once again, completely unprovoked, states that she wants to sleep with...
And look at the way she's looking at him, bro. Bro, she wants this man's Indian cocky. Bro.
with Nav.
On the main character pod, we love you, we hate you,
I
we
guess
respect
we
you.
love you, but I actually love you in one of...
Bro, look at the eye contact, bro. Akash is looking at his wife while her wife is looking at him, bro. Yo. Nah, gang, what is this? Akash is looking at her while them two is staring at each other's soul, bro. Gang. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, bro.
All of
You would be hard pressed to make a compelling
Look
argument.
at this. He's trying to fake like he's trying to fake live, like play it off, bro. We know you hurting, bro. We know it. This is sick.
That Jasleen is only joking when she brought up this topic multiple times. And when we get to hear from Akash directly about his perspective of their relationship, you almost get this sense of relief from him that he finally can express how he really feels about Jasleen's behavior.
When she's running 2 hours late to a dinner reservation that I work really hard to get, and then I'm like, baby, we're running late, and she's like, are you kidding me? Do you know? I don't give a if we're late to this dinner. They're lucky to have us. And I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. #1 restaurant in the New York Times. You know how hard a reservation is?
Call them right now. Call them right now. This is not a fun
I'm
session.
not even joking. This is how main character I am. I was like, Sema will be lucky that I would grace them with my presence tonight.
Jasleen
Who the hell does she think she is? What did she just say out her mouth?
Like, Sema will be lucky that I would grace them with my presence tonight.
Bitch, who are you? Who are you? Nobody knows who you are.
Jasleen seems to think that being the main character means being as entitled and rude as possible, with no regard for anyone else's personal feelings.
Yo, this gotta be like a skit, bro. Like, this can't be real, bro. This can't be real life.
Stories like these demonstrate that Jasleen's selfish demeanor isn't just played up for laughs on a podcast, but exists within her real life as well. Akash comes off visibly frustrated when talking about his wife's toxic behavior, turning it into a therapy session for
that thing he has on is making me itch, bro. Take this off.
him, where he can finally
Please
let
take
out
it
his
off.
pent-up rage.
When I say I'm tired, she can't just let me be tired. I travel, I work, and I'm very blessed to do what I
He
do.
also
I
has
work.
really bad insomnia.
I have
It's
really
like a
bad
known
insomnia.
thing.
I work 335 days a year. I'm so blessed to do what I do. This is not a complaint. But when I tell my wife I'm tired, I want her to say, I'm sorry, baby. I understand. That must be exhausting, buying me all these things. Instead, she goes, so am I. And if I dare open my mouth to go, what the did you do that made you tired? Now it's a problem. Now it's a fight. So I gotta sit there.
It should be a problem, because what is she doing? What is she doing other than spending your bread? She's just a pretty piece of furniture, to be honest with you. Because the way it looks, it looks like she barely gives you affection in the first place. Like, at least if she was being a gold digger and a whore, she was giving you affection, but it don't even look like she likes to kiss you that much. She's just a piece of furniture. What are you there for? What is she there for? To spend your bread.
To Pilates.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Now, there definitely is a humorous delivery to the story that Akash is telling, but it does seem to be rooted in genuine problems he has with his relationship. Jasleen displays an extremely selfish and entitled mindset, both on the podcast and in their real life. Are we really meant to believe that all of this is just funny, just jokes? Well, ironically, that's basically how Akash justifies putting up with this behavior.
It's adorable when she does these things. Like, I just look at it and here's the rule in our marriage. It's been unspoken, but now we're just saying it now that we're both making content. If it's funny, we're good. Like, if it's funny, and if it's not funny and it hurt the other person's feelings, you apologize, you move on.
Any logical person...
This nigga needs help, bro. Ain't no way you think this shit is funny in any slight stature, bro. You need help. Genuinely, bro. I think you working too much, bro. I think you need to open your eyes and actually see what's going on here, bro. You said you work 334 days. You need to cut that shit in half, brother. Cut that shit in half, my brother. That ass. Cut it in half. Cut that shit in half. Cut that shit in half, King. This is not it.
And understands this is an extremely slippery slope, because literally anything can be passed off as a joke or an attempt to make a joke. Like this video she posted to TikTok, where you can hear them both chuckling from time to time, but it's clear they are both frustrated and quite literally just documenting themselves having an argument.
Do you know what my husband just tried to do to me?
Yeah.
We're leaving. Shut up. We're leaving in Paris.
Oh, nah, brother. Nah, brother. Did she just tell you to shut up? Nah, brother.
In 5 hours, so tensions are a little high. We also just redid our closet.
This is all her closet.
Oh my God, look at all these bags.
Tensions are a little high. We also just redid.
Look at all these bags he got her, bro. All these type of different bags.
In our closet.
She even put it from large, medium, and small, gang. She even organized it to large, medium, and small. That's crazy.
This is all her closet now. She took the whole closet.
Which we already agreed upon.
And now she's saying she doesn't have no space.
And now I'm saying I don't have space for all my I don't have space for. Can y'all show?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't have space? There's mad space in here.
For all my I don't have space for. Can y'all show?
Yeah.
I don't have space for all my Indian suits because I like my dresses spaced out. Do you know what Akash just did?
Here you go. Watch this. Oh my God.
I'm not doing
Look how
that.
much space exists.
I'm not doing that.
So what do you want to do? You want to buy a separate house with all hanger space?
No.
In another video, she documents her being stressed out about packing for...
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, this bitch might be a leash. Like, she can't be real. She literally cannot be real. She might be the worst woman. She might be the worst type of person I've ever seen in my life. Cause ain't no way.
With all hanger space?
No.
In another...
Here you go. Watch this.
Ain't no way you can justify this right here, bro. Joke or not joke, bro. Joke or not joke, that's crazy, bro.
Oh my God.
I'm not doing
Look how
that.
much space exists.
Bro, you would think she's top tier. She's a top tier, like little final boss, richest woman. Like, bro, like you would think she's some type of queen. Sheba, Queen Elizabeth, or something. Bro, you a random Indian shorty, bro. You a random Indian shorty he found somewhere, bro. You are nothing special to be acting like this.
I'm not doing that.
So what do you want to do? You want to buy a separate house with all hangers?
No.
In another video, she documents her being stressed out about packing for a lavish vacation in the wealthiest area of America, which is only a 3-hour drive from their apartment.
Okay, so me and my husband are supposed to leave tonight to go to the Hamptons for 2 weeks, and I haven't even packed anything yet. So I was just like, I'm really stressed. Like, I don't want to go tonight because I still have to pack. I haven't even started. I have to finish my laundry.
Really, I know this is a really hard day. What did you do again?
Oh, today?
Yeah.
I had a mani-pedi.
Oh, wow, that's so stressful.
Wait, and I had a massage.
How stressful to go to the Hamptons for 2 weeks. The Hamptons. Hawaii.
Akash puts up with Jaslene's selfish behavior and entitlement because he thinks they are just cute jokes. But it clearly isn't just jokes. Jasleen even says that Akash's birthday is her least favorite day of the year because it's the only day she can't be mean to him.
What? Did I just hear that correctly?
Cute jokes, but it clearly isn't just jokes. Jasleen even says that Akash's birthday is her least favorite day of the year because it's the only day she can't be mean to him.
Bitch, what?
Okay, May the 4th is Akash's birthday. And
May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and
That's a fire birthday, May the 4th.
every year I dread it because I have to be nice the whole day, and I have to get him something, and I have to also be nice and do like acts of kindness.
She said that twice. She said that twice.
She's really not okay with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's really hard
For her, it's really hard.
for me.
She needs to just,
Listen, I'm just used to being treated like a princess all day, every day, so that one day that I don't.
Oh, what torture.
Yeah.
Akash is the Indian Will Smith.
Facts. He's worse. Way worse.
Bro, Akash married the girl Fresh and Fit warned you not to marry.
Gang, this might be, he might be the biggest cuck I ever seen in my life.
She's the embodiment of what Fresh and Fit said to avoid. Akash is rejected.
Like, bro, when Fresh and Fit, bro, y'all just, like, people, niggas like him, they just make Fresh and Fit sound so much better. Everything Fresh and Fit is saying, they make them niggas sound so much better, bro. Cause, bro, it's clear as day that she is a gold digger. She's a treesh. She's a whore. She's all the above. But yeah, you still put a ring on that.
Section of Fresh and Fit's ideology now looked more like a defensive response born out of insecurity, considering her previous comments about her cheating on her husband, the unapologetically consumerist lifestyle that he funds, and the clear unsettling tension she has with Akash made many question what her true motives were in the relationship. Many viewed Jasleen as a gold digger who had no actual emotional or romantic tie to the man that she married, and these sentiments would only grow stronger as people took notice of a very strange pattern of behavior, that being her tendency to avoid kissing Akash, and even straight up dodging his kisses when he tries to initiate.
I don't know.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend that lies for you and not to you.
And this was not just a one-time occurrence. Entire compilations have been created showing just how often Jasleen avoids kissing her own husband. To make matters worse, not only did she dodge a kiss from Akash during their marriage proposal, but she also dodged his kiss a second time when he proposed.
Bro, he wasn't even going for the lipstick. He's going for the cheek, and she still dodged that nigga. Look at this.
Kiss from Akash during their marriage proposal.
He wasn't even going for the lip. He was going for the cheek, and she still dodged this nigga's kiss.
But she also dodged.
How you get a cheek dodged? How she go for the cheek? How you go for the cheek and you still got dodged? Sick.
His kiss a second time when he proposed to have their vows renewed. But Jasleen says it's nothing more than her being uncomfortable with public displays of affection.
But you wasn't uncomfortable when you was saying you was spreading that thing around. You wasn't uncomfortable then.
Also respond to the people saying I don't like my husband because I turned away from a kiss. I've never liked PDA. Physical touch, I find it really overstimulating. And so it's something I actually work through with my husband.
Does he have kids, bro? Because if he had, bro, I hope he doesn't have a kid with her because he's cooked. I mean, he's already married with her, so he's already cooked. But I hope he doesn't have no kids with her because that nigga's life's over. That nigga might as well sign up for
Because that's his.
Fuck. What's that shit called? When you lose all your money? Man, I don't know.
Love language.
Now, having issues with PDA are extremely common. However, it is worth considering all of the other things Ghislaine has no problem doing.
In fact, some people have major PDA, bro. Like, some people don't like PDA at all. But the fact that she can come online and talk about she missed spreading that coochie around back in college, bro. Bro, come on now.
On camera. She's constantly talking about sex on her podcast and on her TikTok, not to mention the fact that she posted an entire video where she is clearly not wearing any pants, getting treatment for a bruise she got during. And as if it couldn't get worse, she also flirts with the doctor.
Also, I heard you're single. Is that true?
So flirts with the doctor.
Also, I heard you're single. Is that true?
So she has no problem posting herself having very graphic conversations, half-naked videos of herself, and flirting with other men, but she draws the line at giving her own husband a kiss. Just doesn't really make sense. Not only did Ghislaine look extremely shady, it now seemed like she was perfectly comfortable with lying about her relationship to make herself look better. And it turns out she wasn't just lying to her small audience, she was also lying to her own husband as well. Now, Ghislaine constantly claiming that she has main character energy is particularly interesting. This is supposed to mean that you are liberated from others' judgment and confident in yourself. But for some, saying you have main character energy is just an acceptable way to admit that you are a narcissist. And narcissists tend to lie about everything, which is why many refused to believe Ghislaine when she said that she was a virgin before meeting Akash. Akash has previously stated that he and Ghislaine were both virgins before they met.
My wife also hadn't had any partner, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this: do you believe her?
Stop the cap.
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what?
Ghislaine, in a separate podcast, made the same statement.
I was at the point where I was ready, because I don't know if you told her, because I was...
Oh, no, I didn't know you were a virgin, too.
So I was a virgin, too.
Stop the cap.
When I met him.
However, posts made by Ghislaine herself tell a completely different story, like the one where she reminisces on the days she spent in college, passing herself around to other.
Bro, how old is she still reminiscing about college, bro? You are a grown-ass woman.
Men.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
Now, technically, she doesn't say that she was sleeping with them, but it is heavily implied. And despite many feeling like they caught her in a lie, she surprisingly doubled down.
Bro, there's no way she can, like, swerve around. She says she's popping her coochie, bro. That means nothing else. What else can she mean by that? What else can she mean by that?
In a response to the criticism, claiming that she did in fact lose her virginity to Akash. Even though Ghislaine has disabled the comments on her social media, preventing anyone from criticizing her on her own page, she still sees the backlash, and her justification for acting the way she does online just makes everything so...
Did you take his last name, Singh? My husband's last name is Singh as well. Oh, these are the...
much worse. Ghislaine has made a few public responses on her TikTok where she claims that she is being canceled, which is funny because she has nothing to be canceled.
Bitch, what the fuck is you canceled for? Nobody, you're not even a nobody. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. You're not even somebody. You like, bro, the thing is with Will Smith and Jada, at least Jada had a career. Your ass is just a pretty couch. You're literally just a furniture that looks good. Like, come on now. Like, bro, I could have sworn they said you had no job, no career, nothing ahead of yourself. You just taking this nigga's bread. Like, at least with Jada, she had a career. She has her own motion going on. You, on the other hand, you might as well be that dog that was sitting on your lap at the start of the video. Cause at least that dog that was sitting on your lap. That dog that was sitting on your lap serves more purpose than you do. No bullshit.
Canceled from. She has no show to be fired from, no brand deal to lose, no job, no platform that anyone could realistically take away from her. In the last few years, cancel culture has become such a buzzword that people will use as a shield against any form of criticism. If an influencer or celebrity frames their criticism as, oh, they're just trying to cancel me, a certain group of viewers will immediately jump to their defense without doing any research. They hear the word cancel and assume it's just another example of people online trying to ruin someone's life for no reason. But Ghislaine is the one who decided to blurt out all of this stuff about her relationship for the internet, and she's being criticized for it. It's that simple. But she mostly chalks up all the negative attention to just coming from red pillars and incels trying to cancel her because she doesn't fit the traditional wife role.
When you're a simple little boy, it just breaks their brain that a girl can like just be loved for simply existing. My husband loves me for simply existing. I don't have to cook or clean to justify my worth.
Now, nobody is saying that she needs to cook and clean and fit some 1950s idea of a trad wife to have value. The issue is that publicly romanticizing other men, joking about cheating, and openly fantasizing about life before your husband isn't empowerment, it's disrespect. It's not about gender roles, it's about basic partnership and companionship. And her mentality and behavior influencing others is potentially harmful to relationships or even single people all around the world. Her second response came a few days later, after people had thoroughly scrubbed through her digital footprint. Ghislaine should have realized at this point that it was more than just incels coming after her, but she does make an interesting point about the criticism she was receiving.
Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so
yeah, he's a comedian. Bitch, you doing this for how much views? He's a comedian. That's how he pays the bills. You saying this shit for free. You being a whore for free. He's getting paid to make fun of you. You're just doing it for free.
funny and so relatable, but then I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a problem? Because I don't have a mic in my hand?
Ironically, yes. If she did have a microphone in her hand, it would be way different. If she was trying to make it as a stand-up comic and her material focused around her being a gold digger or cheating on her husband, people would likely assume that she's being self-deprecating and not to take her as seriously. Because
you going on TikTok saying this for free. Like, nobody told you to make a TikTok and start posting about your husband and what's going on. You decided to do that.
When you are on stage with a mic, people understand that it is a form of performance art that was thought about, written, practiced, and perfected over time.
Everything you're saying is not no joke. You dead ass.
She isn't selling herself as a comedian. Her podcast is branded as Unfiltered Girl Talk, which implies that Ghislaine is offering her honest thoughts and feelings while present. Not to mention that the same things she tries to pass off as jokes, she also attempts to justify as valid opinions she genuinely has. Also, her TikTok is quite literally a behind-the-scenes look at her real life and real dynamics with her husband. She is picking and choosing what should be considered as jokes and what is serious to, again, deflect criticism. This is likely the exact same thing she does to Akash in their personal relationship, which is why he doesn't even realize he is being disrespected and humiliated. Akash certainly complains about his relationship while doing stand-up.
My wife is objectively gorgeous. Me? No. So that's what you gotta do. I gotta work my ass off, and then every time she starts looking at me and she starts assessing my beauty, I just throw it back at that.
Oh man, that's funny because it's actually fucking true.
Chest pass. I'm telling you, ladies, if you have a good guy, do you
see how true that is? Did I not just say chest pass at the start of the video, bro?
Chest pass!
Did I not say that at the, didn't I not say Magic Johnson?
I'm telling you, ladies, if you have a good guy, do you know what he needs? A vacation. You hear it all the time. A relationship is hard work. Marriage is a job. Well, every good job gives you 2 weeks vacation. And if you have a good man, I promise you I know what his dream vacation is. Because every good guy's dream vacation is your vacation. Go somewhere. Go anywhere you want.
But in a more personal setting, like podcasts for example, Akash is significantly more graceful when talking about his wife.
She just says everything she's feeling at whatever moment. It's done. She just tells me when she's pissed off at me. It just all comes out. It took me a while to appreciate that because initially I'm like, why are you so combative? What's this about? God damn, stop fighting with me all the time. And then I was like, oh no, she just lets it out and she's free. All these little social niceties that we all do where we just lie.
Bro took the simping crown from Will Smith. Feeling the pressure from all the backlash, Akash started interrupting his stand-up performances to talk about social media drama. As one fan wrote, I went to the 7 p.m. show last night and it was extremely awkward. He was clearly not processing the situation well and he ended the set 20 minutes early. He spent the first 10 to 15 minutes of the set talking about the controversy, how his wife has been loyal to him, and everything she has been saying is just jokes and is fine with him. No one in the crowd knew how to take this information, and I truly believe that the majority of fans there had no idea any of this was going on. This only made him spending like 1/3 of his set on it even more awkward. He then proceeded to jokingly call his wife a whore every time he brought her up, which was just not helping. I think it ruined his whole set and the mood never recovered, which I think is why he ended early. Other fans recalled a similar experience, and they all seemed to share the sentiment that Akash was clearly rattled by the ordeal and his performance was suffering as a result. One fan even claimed that he asked beforehand if the crowd had heard about the drama, and
calling your wife a whore ain't gonna do anything. That's still your wife at the end of the day. You chose to marry her. You went to the jeweler and got a ring for her, so she could be a whore, but she's your whore.
was relieved to find out most of them hadn't. Someone else recorded a recent performance Akash did in which he tries to explain why he thinks his wife isn't what the internet says she is.
These narratives, people calling your wife a gold digger on all these other things, it's a shame. So I'm going to tell one story that I have never even told her, honestly. My wife and I met in 2014.
Akash opened up about his wife, Jocelyn, at his recent stand-up comedian show and told a story of her still being by his side when he was broke and homeless.
Not making much money. I was getting $25 a night doing stand-up. I was on MTV shows that paid dog shit money. But then in 2018, I went flat broke. 34 years old, I probably made $4,000 that entire year. And we couldn't even afford the living room we lived in New York City. Me and her sleeping on a hardwood floor. I'm 34 years old. She's 25 years old. I'm looking at this girl like, man, you could go
nine-year age gap.
Indian who's a doctor. I have nothing to give her. It's just a light jacket. It's like October. We have nothing. So I hand her the jacket, and then she said, "What's this for?" I said, "You can use that as a pillow." And then she goes, "Well, what are you going to use?" And I said, "I'll figure it out." She handed me back the jacket. She goes, "You take this." And then she laid with her head on my chest and her arm around me the entire night. And I remember thinking in that moment, I don't know if I'm going to be able to marry this girl because I'm so broken. I'm in such a bad place and it's a dark fucking time in my life. But I know I will never find a girl that loves me this much ever again.
Now this paints the narrative of a girl who was loyal to the core to a man who was at his lowest moment and therefore deserves the fruits of his success.
Hey, I mean, if that's true, then W to her, bro. W for sticking around, I guess. W for sticking around.
But there is a few key details that he left out, because shortly after this story that Akash explained of them sleeping on the floor, Jocelyn did actually leave him, but then came back to him when his career was revived.
Nigga, what?
Akash says that he made nearly no money during the first 4 years of their relationship and then went broke in 2018. However, they both have publicly claimed that he was making a 6-figure salary in 2017.
He was getting a lot of work from MTV, like his first show was Wildin' Out, and then he did Guy Code, and he was just like on a bunch of MTV shows, and he was able to like reach a 6-figure salary, which at the time was really huge for us. But then in 2018, like all of the opportunities started to dry up. He was kind of aging out of the MTV bracket, and he wasn't really getting any attention from the industry. So he was pretty much losing all his income. And at the same time, I was working a really toxic job with like a toxic manager and like working till 2 a.m. And it just caused a lot of stress on our relationship.
I had like 7 MTV shows. I wasn't making crazy money. I was making like low 6 figures. But my girlfriend at the time, she moved into our place. And then all of a sudden, end of 2017, all the shows started suddenly getting canceled one by one. So I went from making like a low 6 figures, nothing crazy, but 6 figures in 2017 to 2018, probably making like $4,000 for the whole year. I'm not even exaggerating.
Jasleen actually did end up dumping Akash during this dark time.
So you telling me this nigga lied?
Sparked by what she claims was a fight between her and Akash's mother. Then the two eventually got back together months later, and conveniently enough, Akash's Flagrant podcast was just starting to blow up and was making $10,000 a month in...
Shorty came back when the bread started coming, bro. No way you just made that whole story up about your shorty. And then she came back, she broke up with you, and she only came back because the bread was right. No fucking way.
Patreon revenue. Akash and Jasleen finally decided to sit down and address all of the backlash on the Flagrant podcast. Andrew and the guys created this trial where they pretended to investigate Jasleen and ask her all of the tough questions that the internet is demanding answers to. What's funny is that everyone seems to be enjoying this besides Akash. He is easily the least animated one throughout the pod and seems like he just wants to get this thing over with. Now, the two didn't say anything that we haven't heard before. Jasleen basically chalks everything up to being just a joke or exaggerated because most people don't contextualize her background and upbringing.
Have you ever heard of the repressed Catholic schoolgirl?
Never.
I was, yeah, you know. Okay, so I was.
His Catholic school was in his living room. Imagine how repressed he was.
I was a repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But
What does a roster mean?
so it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like 2 guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant...
mean, I just meant making out. Again, like everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right. So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah, literally.
Throughout the episode, Akash is kind of bullying and teasing her constantly as if this is to prove that they do it to each other and it's not just a one-sided thing, even though as if...
Literally.
Throughout the episode, Akash is kind of bullying and teasing her constantly as if this is to prove that they do it to each other and it's not just a one-sided thing, even though on podcasts before this, he is typically more graceful towards her and is not just outright calling her a bitch.
Yeah, she's actually made a non-cooking ass.
You can make that?
Schema.
Really?
This is useless.
You can't say this with all due respect, please. You gotta say with all due respect. I guess it's your wife.
I thought the internet was right about everything.
No.
Golding a woman.
Yeah. Okay, so you can make all these things.
Yeah.
One of the more interesting moments was when the two discussed her bringing up and being so persistent about having an with her co-host's husband. And again, she said it was just a joke, but in the middle of that, she remained firm in her stance that she was a virgin, and even Andrew was surprised.
So if she had a body count, I would have been like, hey, cut that. But because she doesn't, and I know how like innocent she actually is.
Oh, you are a virgin? That's real?
I was a virgin until I met him, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't, that body count thing, I'd be like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Because I would have been insecure about it. But I can be, not that I'm so secure, but with that joke, I'm like so secure.
Oh, I absolutely would feel insecure.
And I think stupidly, I was like, oh, it's all of us. It's not like
talking... Yeah, that is stupid.
Yeah.
But the 87,000 dislikes on the video says that the viewers were not exactly believing whatever they were saying. Are they trying to convince us or themselves? Akash still believes her body count is 1. At this point, someone needs to interview one of those frat boys. The fake laughing is almost corporate level. That being said, it seems like Akash genuinely believes his wife is out of his league. He said publicly that she is far more attractive than any woman he thought he could ever get. When you feel lucky just to be with someone, you start letting things slide that would normally hurt you. You convince yourself the jokes don't mean anything, the disrespect isn't real, and the public humiliation is just content. Ghislaine behaves like someone who assumes she'll be forgiven no matter what, so she has no reason to self-reflect on her behavior because her husband doesn't push back. You can only see where this will lead. Eventually, Akash won't be able to supply her demands. The vacations aren't enough. The house isn't big enough. The clothes aren't expensive enough. The bedroom activities aren't enough. And that stuff is hard enough to deal with privately. Now he has to run the risk of her expressing all of these frustrations publicly on her TikTok and podcast. It seems that Ghislaine is a product of a generation that confuses on-screen dysfunctionality with personality, treating toxic characters as an aesthetic role model with main character energy.
Like, the closest character to me is probably Maddie from Euphoria.
Maddie from Euphoria is a character best known for her engagement in toxic relationships and selfish personality, oftentimes emotionally harming other people to get what she wants. So it's interesting that Ghislaine says she can only act as Maddie because she can only act like herself.
Yeah, I'm done with this video, bro. This bitch. Hey, man. If he loves her, he loves her, bro. But I'm not gonna lie, at the end of the day, he better have. He's already cooked. He's already married to her. But I hope he don't have no kids with her, bro. That ass. But W video, bro. W video, Patrick.